and oh, how's it changed my life. From the first moment I heard about David Lee Roth's chaos magic, all the way to the scum of the earth you talked about last week. The impact your words have had on me cannot be quantified. When my wife died in a brutal bus accident yesterday, I didn't know how I could move on. But then I listened to Salisbury Steak and Bullets, and all was right in the world. I am finally over the grieving process, but only after a very long 24 hours, that I am forever grateful that you got me through. Your words are nothing but inspiring, and I wish you continued success. Sloppy Joe from Cincinnati. P.S. Would you fellas care to join me at the Motor Lodge later? I really would like to get down on some man-on-man-on-man human centipede action. This isn't from Sloppy Joe. This is just from me, Casey. What do you boys think?
What a beautiful letter. I mean, isn't it just so inspiring to know that the things we talk about week after week are really touching people, like down to the core of their hearts.
Well, it sounds like Casey wants to touch us, but aside from that, yeah, it's pretty.
Casey really wants to get down to our core.
He's horned up.
Even from the grave, it's amazing. But that dude's one horny motherfucker. That's what I always knew about Casey Kasem.
The ghost of Casey, man. R.I.P. But thank you, Sloppy Joe.
He wants to put a dick in your butt.
Well, it sounds like he wants to eat your ass.
But, well, leave it up to him. But it's.
Are you gonna leave it up to him?
I don't know, man. Like, I'm just very moved that we would have a listener, Sloppy Joe from Cincinnati, that would just be so touched by our words and the things that we're doing each week, and I'm moved by it. I am moved so incredibly, and hopefully we can provide that kind of content for all our listeners, because clearly Sloppy Joe, this we mean a lot to him. So thank you, Sloppy Joe.
Joe Slops, we got your back.
Oh, what else? Boy, I really had a boring week. Well, not boring, but just nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, man.
Nothing exciting.
I know you give me shit about talking about my grandma, but the only other news I have is that she decided to join Publishers Clearinghouse, which I didn't even know was still a thing. And she had to give me the disclaimer.
My grandma always thought she was gonna win. That just is why it made me laugh. My grandma was so into Publishers Clearinghouse.
I can't believe my grandma joined in 2021, and she had to give me the disclaimer saying, but if they show up at my house with a big check, I will not be on TV. But that money will go to your father, and then he can give you some, maybe. Okay.
Dude, oh my god, that is so dead on to everything my grandma used to say. Like, she had it all planned out. Like, at the same time, she knew she was never gonna win. So, like, in her mind, it was a joke, but it was also very real. Mm-hmm. So, like, as much as she knew that she wasn't ever gonna win Publishers Clearinghouse, she did want to make sure to have all these, like, contingency plans for when she won, set up. So when this happens, because I'm only 3 letters away. If I get 3 more letters in the mail, I'm going to win this. And when I do, you're going to be set up. Your dad's going to be set up. Everybody's going to be fine. But it's just a joke, right?
Is that how that works? Like, I honestly don't know. Like, do they continuously send you letters to, know you're in the running or something?
Yeah, from what I understand. But it's like, I don't know what their game is, because they must be trying to, sell something along the way. But, it starts out as you get a letter saying, you're one of the final 10,000 contestants. And then you get one that's you're one of the final 5,000 contestants. Okay. And then you get one, you're one of the final 3,000 contestants. And they just keep, stringing these old people along, getting their hopes up, that oh, I'm only 3 letters away. And I think it's like when we were talking about the crossword scratch-off tickets the other day when we were just hanging out and talking, And Like, you have that feeling of, like, if I just get an A, if I just get an E, I'm going to win $20,000. So they just, I mean, it's really mean to do this to old people, too, that are, like, wanting to, like, finally secure their family, like, a nice piece of the pie, you know, before they, like, pass on or whatever. And, like, no, we're just going to fuck with you. We're Publishers Clearinghouse. We're just going to make all you old fucks just believe that something good's going to happen. But it's not. Why would it ever? It hasn't happened the whole time you've been alive. Why would it happen now, you know? I shouldn't say.
Give people hope, Nick. They only have a few years left to live.
Just like those fuckers in Beloit.
Just like those fuckers in Beloit. Exactly. Well, I don't know if you want to end it or, like, I got one more thing I could ask you. Kind of up to you.
Yeah, throw it up. I mean, I think we got 40 minutes anyways, but throw it up, you know, just to see if we go somewhere, and then I think we're good.
Sure. Well, I was just curious. I'm not sure if we've had this conversation. Maybe we have, but I had the idea earlier this week because I was thinking about it. I was curious, like, what is the first album? Like, it doesn't have to be like a vinyl album, just like whatever medium it was in. Like, what was the first album you can remember buying for yourself?
Wow, that is a great question. So I can't answer it specifically as one album, but I'll give you a little bit of my taste when I was in 5th grade. And I was getting into the Columbia House music shit that we've talked about like a few weeks ago or whatever. So this was my music collection when I was about I do know the first. This is even better. So when I was in 5th grade, and this is what led me into buying CDs, I got my first standalone boombox CD player for Christmas, right? Like with the detachable speakers in the middle like section that everybody had back in the day, you know, one of those. Space Jam. So I didn't buy it for myself, but it was the Space Jam soundtrack I got for my CD player when I was 12 years old that Christmas. And then, this is what I listened to. Chumbawamba.
Yep.
Spice Girls.
Yep.
Big Willie Style.
Yep.
Eve 6. Well, Will Smith, but the album Big Willie Style.
I know the
6.
one, yep.
I think I had some Blink-182 in there, even though I hated them back in the day. I actually, it's odd, I like them now, but I hated them when I was a teenager. But everybody had the album with the nurse with the fucking, her hand going up the glove, you know, for the prostate exam. And then she was a hot nurse in the video, too. I think she was like a porn star. But yeah, so like I was like really fucking trying to find my identity in those days, and I was just following around like with whatever anybody else thought was cool. Oh, you like the Spice Girls? And I did really like the Spice Girls, but I didn't like their music. I just really liked the Spice Girls.
Everyone had a reason to like the Spice Girls. Yep.
I just really like the Spice Girls, especially Ginger Spice. Mm-hmm. But anyways, so that was mine, man. I had no idea what I liked in those days. So that's my story. What was yours?
Mine, so as far as I can recall, the first album that I ever got on CD was it was from Homestar Runner. It was Strong Bad Sings and Other Type Hits. Just
that's so much cooler.
Yeah, like Strong Bad and Homestar Runner were like fantastic back in the day, and I'm very happy to see that they're actually starting to make new content again after like 10 years, or probably more than 10 years. But
I don't know if you know this, but your intro for our show that's da 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 da. I've renamed that Strong Bad intro.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the idea I had going in my head when I made that. But other than that, like, I was such a huge AC/DC fan from a young age that like that was kind of my thing. Whereas like, and I think I've talked about this on the show before, so I won't go into it. But yeah, like every like month or so, I was allowed to get like a new AC/DC CD that I had never seen or heard before. So that coupled with just like listening to my dad's old tapes and stuff that he had in his basement, but definitely I think the first one that I ever requested, other than maybe like the Twister soundtrack, was probably Strong Bad Sings.
Dude, the video of Strong Bad playing guitar will never not be funny to me. When he's like ziggy ziggy ziggy.
What does he say? It's like Squeedly Widdly versus Woodly Doodly over here, or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna go. Widdly Widdly Widdly.
Oh shit! Well,
oh god, oh that's awesome. So they're doing new shit now.
They are, yeah. I noticed this right before this previous Halloween. They put out like a Halloween video that was brand new, and I was ecstatic.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah, like nothing.
Oh yeah, that's really I didn't know that. That's great news.
Yeah, nothing makes me feel better than that. Well, I suppose.
Not even an orgasm?
What's that?
Not even an orgasm?
No, childhood memories don't tend to bring me to jizz. At least not yet.
No, you said nothing makes you feel better than that.
Oh,
and I said not even an orgasm.
I took that a little differently. Thanks, guys, for listening.
All right.
I suppose we're at that point. Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been the Loose Stool with Matt Nic. If you'd like to follow us on social media, that is at Loose Stool Pod on Twitter. We are on Patreon. If you'd like to buy us our next beer, we'd be ever so grateful. That is patreon.com/theloosestool. And send us an email, just like the one we got today. We'd love to hear from you. That is loosestoolpodcast@gmail.com. We hope you're doing good. We'll see you next week.